Hello again from the two of us. We're talking about when your systems in your small business get out of control and how to get them back on track. Truth bomb, when things get messy in your business, you have allowed that to happen for a number of reasons. You might have systems that are weak. You might have systems that are outdated, and we're not talking about IT systems. Your systems are not sufficient, or we have seen cases where there is no systems whatsoever. So we're going to address that today and how to get back on track or on track in the first place.
It's like, I was thinking the other day, it's like a hoarder's house. I love those shows, the hoarder shows. I feel very sad for those people, actually, because something's happened in their life that has caused that hoarding to begin. I'm not saying that we're hoarding in our businesses, but there is an analogy here that when you think of a hoarder's home, at one point, it must have been tidy. It must have been organized and it must have been clean, right? And when whatever it was happened to that person, it could be, loss of a person or a divorce. It could just be mental illness. It could be physical illness, whatever it is, usually a sad thing. Then their systems seem to break down. So, for example, they read a newspaper, and then instead of, when they finish putting the newspaper in the recycling, they just put it on the table over there or the chair over there. And then when they finished with their next newspaper, they think, oh, that's where it goes. And then that's the new system. Like you were saying, Alex, that the new systems can become quite outdated.
Yep.
Or they can become, you let systems develop that are not actually very efficient systems as well. And that would happen in a hoarder's house. So that's what I'm trying to say, is it's related to your small business. If it feels a little bit out of control, that you've not actually thought about how you want to feel. Like the hoarder's probably not thinking, oh, I want this space to feel clean. I want it to feel organized. I want it to feel spacious. They haven't got that vision in their head. So they can't plan their systems to help them get that feeling. And that's how it relates to us in our small businesses as well, is that if we're not organized in our systems, and we don't think about our systems and how they can help us in our businesses, we can let things not things get out of control. We let them get out of control, just like a hoarder has let it get out of control.
Yes.
Because of what happened to them from some trauma. I'm not saying small business owners have trauma.
Yeah.
Although maybe we do.
But it's sort of like, when you start a small business, it's very exciting. And I guess not many people think about systems at that place. They have a great idea and they somehow want to monetize it. And then they start here and there and everywhere. And in the beginning, you probably can get away without having big systems in place. But as you go on and ideas develop and you develop relationships or whatever you're doing or product, things get really quickly very messy. So when I started Turquoise Port, I'm from a corporate background. It was all about systems in the financial world, right? So when I actually started with a bunch of folders on my desktop. I felt at that point in time quite silly, I gotta admit, because I was like, oh, I can't get my brain out of the corporate thing. So I had folders for suppliers, folders for financial, folders for ideas, folders for everything. And those folders were empty because I hadn't started putting anything in. There was nothing to put in. But I started with that. And also I started my financial spreadsheet before I even had any expense or any income. To put it all in place, I started folders for my images for the different products I had in mind on my iPhone and just in my photo app. And in hindsight, that was a really good thing because things got really busy really quickly. I went on my first sourcing trip to other parts of Asia and started importing products. And suddenly these folders were all filling up with like shipping receipts and export and import documents and all of these sort of things. And I was really quite glad that I didn't have to now think about the structure because it was already there. I had planned for it. And yes, the structure over time changed because my business model changed slightly. And then I got an online store, which needed other structures in place. But yeah, so when things go out of control, if you step back and look at your systems, and as I said before, we're not talking about IT systems, simple structures on how you manage your business. May it be your email inbox structure. That's actually quite a good one. Rather than having one inbox and one sent item box, you can have all of these labels and subfolders, which when you look for something thinking, oh, client XYZ, I'm sure I told her this and that about this and that product. Maybe I can just copy and paste it for the next customer. If you haven't got a system in place, you can search for hours and it's just a waste of time and it's really frustrating. So
the other thing is not just things on your desktop or necessarily on your phone or anything, but it could just be a system like I have at my door right now, because it's Tuesday, all my recycling ready to go out tomorrow, so that on my way home today, when I finished in the studio, I'll pick up the recycling and it's recycling day tomorrow.
Yeah.
And, emptying your office bin, it could be that yes. Every week you have to remember when it's rubbish day and you empty a bin on that day.
Yeah.
Because it gets you down, that kind of stuff, right?
It does.
And that's how hoarders maybe began. I can't be bothered emptying that bin. Oh no, the bin's full. I'll just throw this banana skin on the floor then.
Yeah. And it's the same with looking at, say, you have lots of product images. I can't be bothered filing it in the images for cushion covers. And then you'll, like 2 months later, you're looking for that very image because you want to post it on your socials. And then you search forever.
Photograph it again. And then you've got to.
Yes. And it gets really messy and there's bits everywhere. Mm. And it also helps you, it's going back to the whole planning thing. It helps you with when you want to do your content, right? Your newsletters, to have that structure in place, and you just, go back and you pick and choose from your structure that you have.
So in summary, we want you to, if you're feeling like this, like that your systems, you have let your systems get out of control, step back. Imagine if your room was complete wreck. Step back, look at it from like outside, a bird's eye view, like Alex was saying in the previous video, and decide how you want to feel about it. So I want to feel relaxed in my business. I want to feel in control. I want to feel calm. I want to feel like I'm moving forward. How do you want to feel in your business? Then plan from the feeling. How are you going to get to that feeling? Then prioritize it. Prioritize the things that are the most important to get you to that feeling that you want. And with that, we'll see you next time.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.